every day this month, I'm going to be reading something in celebration of Black History Month. Black History Month started in 1926. It was originally just a week called Negro History Week. And then in the 70s, President Ford made it a month. And ever since then, every president has issued a proclamation. Now, there is a question of some funding at the federal level this year, but in regards to how that there's not going to be any celebration of it, and also in the National Archives, while Martin Luther King is still on the site, there have been some things taken down at the museum because they were too controversial. For example, in the Step Into History photo booth, a photo of Martin Luther King was replaced with a photo of President Nixon shaking hands with Elvis. And that in itself is ironic, especially since Elvis was highly influenced by Black music, and Little Richard said Elvis opened the door for Black music. So there's that. And of course, Nixon is a whole nother thing. Anyway, I'm happy to celebrate this month, and I think we all need to learn a little history. Doesn't matter what the archives removes. We've got enough books in the world to talk about it. So I also want to say, so what I'm reading is from this book, The People Could Fly, American Black Folktales by Virginia Hamilton. Let's talk about Virginia Hamilton, give credit for the author. She is Black. She's a Black American. Sorry, she passed in 2002, but she wrote 41 books, and she won many medals, the Newbery Medal, and her work was called, her works were celebrated for exploring the African American experience, what she called liberation literature. So I'm so happy I have this book. I just got it. And I do want to say that I will not be reading it exactly in the vernacular because it's more of a Southern vernacular, and I don't want it to appear the way I read it as fake, if that makes sense. But I do want to respect the spirit of the story and the culture. So for example, if I was from the South, I would say children, because some Southern dialects, right, say children instead of children. But that is not how I would talk. So I just want to say that I will be not changing the words, but some of the pronunciation will not be in the dialect it's written, if that makes sense, because I don't have that dialect, and it will just sound like I'm making fun. It could sound like I'm making fun of these tales. So, okay, let's get started. Happy Black History Month. Today we're reading Tappin, the Land Turtle. Once upon a time, there was a land children and tree children. And there was a land turtle. He called himself Tappin. Tappin has 6 children. They're all hungry. Everybody's hungry on all the land because it was famine time. There was the eagle up there hiding in a cloud. He on his way across the ocean. He's going for the palm oil and seed to feed tree children. Tappin see what the eagle do, and he say, hold on there, it being hard times where you come by all this and that to feed your tree children. I got 6 of my own. Show me where you get your food. Eagle says, I has to fly across the ocean to get this and that. Tappin, he say, You give me some of these wings you got, and I'll travel with you. Eagle, he say, all right, where you want to go? Tappin tell him, the first cock crow tomorrow morning. So first cock crow gun come by, but Tappin, he didn't wait for it. It'd be 3 o'clock, and Tappin go over to Eagle's house saying, cuckoo, cuckoo. It's so silly that a turtle is cuckooing. Eagle tell him, you go on back home. Lay you down. It ain't day yet. But Tappin keep it up. Cuckoo, cuckoo. Eagle gets up and says, what you want now? Tappin tell him, put me 3 feathers on this side and 3 on the other side. So the eagle, he pull out the feathers for Tappin. He put 3 on one side of Tappin's shell and 3 on the other side of Tappin's shell. Now Eagle says, let me see you fly. So Tappin, he right off started to fly. One of the feathers fell off him. That be all right, he says. I got me some more wings. Let's be on our way. So Eagle Tappin flew and flew, but over the ocean, all of Tappin's eagle feathers fell off. Tappin commenced falling in the water. He fallen fast, so an eagle go catch him and put him under his wing. Phew, Tappin said, it do smell foul under here. Eagle let him drop in the ocean. Tappin fell down and down into the water, way down to the underworld. The king down there, king of the underworld, meet up with Tappin. He say, why are you here? What are you doing here? Tappin tell him, says, King, we have terrible time on the earth. We can't get nothing to eat. I got 6 land children, and I can't find food for them. The eagle, he's got but 3 tree children, and he can fly across the ocean, get all the food he wants. So would you please give me something to feed my children? King tell him, all right, all right. He gave Tappin a dipper, long-handled cup. It's like a ladle is a dipper. He tell Tappin, take this, and when you want food for your children, say this, back in Kole, back in Kabe, back in Kawu fo lebe lebe. So Tappin, he carry home the dipper, and he go to the children. Come on here, he say to them. When they all come here, he say this. I forgot to show you the picture. Here's the picture. Poor Tappin. Bacon Kale. Bacon Kabe. Bacon Kahubo Lebe Lebe. There is everything in the dipper. There is gravy, biscuits, and meat. The children have plenty to eat now. So Tappin, he says to himself, I'll sell the dipper to my own king. So he shows the dipper to his own king, and he say, Bacon Kole, Bacon Kabe, Bacon Kawubo, Lebe Lebe. Lebe Lebe. I'm not sure. Then the food come out the dipper. They get everything to eat. So the king goes and calls all the people, and everyone eats from the dipper. They ate and ate the meat and fruit, everything. Tappin thinks he takes the dipper back home, so he do. Come on, children, Tappin say. He trying to feed him, but nothing coming from the dipper. Nothing. So when the dipper's out, it's out. Tappin say, all right, I'll go to the king of the underworld and have him fix this dipper up. He goes way down to the underworld, and he says to the king there, King, what is the matter? I can't feed the land children no more. King say, you take this cowhide, and when you want something, you say, sheet naun, njako, now o quacko. Quacko. So Tappin, he does it. but that cowhide start to beat the land children. It'd say, drop, drop. Some children are unalived. Some is only sick, but they all drop down. Tappin say, I'll call the underworld king up here. He calls the king and all the people, and he himself a cover made to fit him before he has the cowhide to beat. He make a cover of sand and some line to cover him good. Then he say, sheep now on, in jackal, now old quackle. The cowhide beat and beat and beat. It beat everybody. It beat the king too. It beat right through the cover over Tappin. Tappin have beat signs all on his back. Tappin's shell has marks on it to this very day. And that's why you never find Tappin in a clean place. You look, see him under some leaves or log lying there. That's Tappin, beat marks all on his shell. This tale was first told by Cujo Lewis of Plateau, Alabama, and recorded in heavy dialect. He was brought to America on a slave ship from the west coast of Africa in 1859. It was a custom among some of the African peoples to name a child after the day on which he or she was born. Cujo means Monday. Tappin is a dialect for terrapin, the American dry land turtle. There were African animal prototypes such as the jackal, the hare, and the tortoise for the American black folktales. The jackal survived in the tales as the fox, the hare as the rabbit, and the tortoise as the dry land turtle or terrapin. This tale includes examples of African words in verse that were meant to make magic. Their meaning, unfortunately, is lost to us. So if I mispronounce that, that's why. That was a sad story, but it tells you it's like a turtle origin story. So, very interesting. Happy Black History Month. Thanks for learning with me. Stay smart.